Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another video. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you'll be updated on all my future content. So this live stream is going to focus on adding mixed numbers. 5 and 1/5 plus 4 and 3/5 is our first example problem, and I'm going to go through step by step how to solve that problem. So mixed numbers can be added in two simple steps. Step 1, we add the whole numbers. So we're going to add 5 plus 4. Simple one-digit addition here. 5 plus 4 equals 9, so 9 is our whole number. That's step 1. Step 2, we add the fractions. So we're going to add 1/5 plus 3/5. Now, adding fractions is just like adding whole numbers, except whatever the denominator is, aka whatever the bottom number is in the fraction, that stays the same. So 1 plus 3 equals 4. Our denominator, our bottom number here, stays the same. So 1/5 plus 3/5 equals 4/5. So we have our answer, 5 and 1/5 plus 4 and 3/5 equals 9 and 4/5. All right, moving on to example number 2. All right, next example. Let me make my 9 a little bit neater. Legibility matters. Legibility matters. So 2 and 2/9 plus 3 and 2/9. So step 1, we add our whole numbers. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So 5 is our whole number. Next, we add our fractions. 2/9 plus 2/9 equals 4/9. So we have our final answer. 2 and 2/9 plus 3 and 2/9 equals 5 and 4/9. All right, moving on to example number 3. It's the Mr. Camilleri show. It's the Mr. C. It's the Mr. Camilleri show. Shout out to Mr. C. So example number 3, 7 and 1/4 plus 2 and 2/4. So step 1, we add our whole numbers. 7 plus 2 equals 9. Step 2, we have to add our fractions. And again, adding fractions is just like adding whole numbers, except we keep the denominator the same. So 1 plus 2 equals 3. Our denominator is 4 for both fractions, so that's going to stay the same in our answer. 1/4 plus 2/4 equals 3/4. So our final answer, 7 and 1/4 plus 2 and 2/4 equals 9 and 3/4. All right, moving on to the next example. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Please hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm. Eight and 1/8 plus 1 and 3/8. So step 1, we add our whole numbers. 8 plus 1 equals 9. So 9 is our whole number. Step 2, we add our fractions. 1/8 plus 3/8 equals 4/8. So we have our answer, 8 1/8 plus 1 3/8 equals 9 4/8. Now the 4/8 is not in lowest terms. That can be reduced, but I like to keep my reducing fractions to lowest terms. That's its own video. So this will be the final answer for this video. On a future video, maybe I'll reduce 4/8 to lowest terms. Next example. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Please hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm. All right, so I'm going to make these a little more complicated here. So we have 12 1/7 plus 13 4/7. So step one, we add our whole numbers. If we're not able to add the whole numbers in our head, we can actually draw the two whole numbers vertically here. 12 plus 13. So we simply add the number in the ones place. Shout out to the two people that hit the like button. I appreciate you. So 12 plus 13. So we're going to add 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3 equals 5. Next, we'll add 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. We have our answer, 12 plus 13 equals 25. 25 is our whole number. Welcome to the chat. All right, if it's easy, let's see if you could add the fraction together. 1/7 plus 4/7. 1/7 plus 4/7. Let's see if you can add the fraction together. Tell me what the fraction is. Uh, 1/7 plus 4/7 equals 5/7. So we have our answer, 12 1/7 plus 13 4/7 equals 25 5/7. All right, next example. (23 1/3) plus 32 1/3. So step one, we add our whole numbers, 23 plus 32. So 3 plus 2 equals 5. 2 plus 3 again equals 5. So 55 is our whole number. Next, we add our fractions. 1/3 plus 1/3. Adding fractions is just like adding whole numbers, except the bottom number, the denominator in the fraction, stays the same. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. The denominator 3 stays the same. So we have our final answer, 23 1/3 plus 32 1/3 equals 55 2/3. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Please hit the like button. I appreciate you. All right, next example. I think we're probably going to do 2 more examples, then we're going to call it a video. So this next one's going to be a little simpler. (4 2/10) plus 3 5/10. So step one, we add our whole numbers. 4 plus 3 equals 7. Step 2, we add our fractions. 2/10 plus 5/10. Again, adding fractions is just like adding whole numbers, except we keep the denominator the same. So 2 plus 5 equals 7. Denominator stays the same. 2/10 plus 5/10 equals 7/10. So we have our answer. Four and 2/10 plus 3 and 5/10 equals 7 and 7/10. All right, next example. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Again, please hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm. So 41 and 4/12 plus 16 and 5/12. So step 1, we add our whole numbers. We're going to add 41 plus 16. If you can't do that in your head, just add the numbers in the ones place and the tens place. So we'll start out 1 plus 6. 1 plus 6 equals 7. Next, 4 plus 1. 4 plus 1 equals 5. So 57 is our whole number. Next, we have to add our fractions. You can put both the whole number and the fraction on the top at the very end, or you could do it step by step. Either way works. But let's add our fractions now. As long as you do both steps, either way works. 4/12 plus 5/12. 4 plus 5 equals 9. Our denominator stays the same. 4/12 plus 5/12 equals 9/12. Now the 9/12 is not in lowest terms, but again, reducing fractions to lowest terms, I make that its own video. I'm not going to be reducing any fractions to lowest terms in this video. So for all intents and purposes, our final answer, 41 and 4/12 plus 16 and 5/12 equals 57 and 9/12. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you. All right, 81 and 1/6 plus 12 and 4/6. So step 1, we add our whole numbers, 81 plus 12. Make sure I line up the numbers here. Very important to line up the numbers, know what's in the ones place and what's in the tens place. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 8 plus 1 equals 9. So 93 is our whole number. Next, we add our fractions, 1/6 plus 4/6. 1 plus 4 equals 5. Our denominator stays the same. So we have our answer, 81 and 1/6 plus 12 and 4/6 equals 93 and 5/6. All right, this next problem will probably be the final problem of the video. 87 and 1/7 plus 15 and 3/7. So step 1, we add our whole numbers, 87 plus 15. 7 plus 5 equals 12. 2 carry the 1. 1 plus 8 equals 9. Plus 1 equals 10. So we have our whole number. Our whole number is 102. 87 plus 15 equals 102. Next, we have to add our fractions. 1/7 plus 3/7. Again, adding fractions is just like adding whole numbers, except the denominator stays the same. One plus 3 equals 4. Our denominator stays the same. So 1/7 plus 3/7 equals 4/7. So we have our final answer. 87 and 1/7 plus 15 and 3/7 equals 102 and 4/7. All right, that is my live stream for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the video. And if there is an area of math or reading that you're having difficulty with, put that in the comments and I will try to do a future video on that skill. Until next time, this is Mr. Camilleri signing off.